I had so much hope for this recap. The first two periods, I was super psyched. I thought it was going to be great. And then the third period happened, and the world crashed on down around us. I'm getting ahead of myself. Kings versus Senators, second night of a back-to-back. Up until this point, or going into this game, they were 10-3-1 on the second night of a back-to-back, which is really great stats. Second nights are not easy. This is a road trip, so they're not, at home recovering. They're on a plane last night. So kudos to the Kings for showing up in the first two periods, because that was really all they showed up for. And really and truthfully, towards the end of the second period, not even that much. That had a lot to do with penalties. So the first period was actually really good. They did not look like they were on the second night of a back-to-back. They pretty much dominated. They didn't get anything for it. They had a power play. Their power play until Toffoli's power play goal last night is 0 for 28, I believe. Their power play sucks. And it's disappointing because when you look at what they're doing, it shouldn't. They're making really clean passes. They're making good calls. They're getting good shots on net. They're just not converting any of them. So it looked like it was going to be another good second night back-to-back kind of game. The second period started, and they started off with Zakov having to make a save, like a really good save, and he did. And truthfully, I'm not a huge Zakov fan. He looked a little shaky in net for the first period, but he was solid in the second. Sort of, and I'll get to that. But 54 seconds in, Jeff Carter does this. And of course it's Jeff Carter, so it's the most beautiful backhanded goal you've ever seen. Technically, it ended up being a Dwight King goal. His knee technically deflected it in. But for all intents and purposes, this is Teddy Purcell reading the play correctly, getting in on the forecheck, really slick move to get the puck to Carter, and he backhands it in past Anderson. So that the Kings are up 1-0, and for the first half of the second period, it looks like they're going to continue to dominate and maybe not get that second goal, but maybe not need it. And then they took a penalty, and then 22 seconds remaining of that penalty, they took another one. So 22 seconds of 5-on-3. Credit Drew Doughty for stopping that from doing anything terrible. He had a great, very good, timely clear of the puck that basically killed off the 22 seconds, successfully killed off the next minute and 38 seconds of that second penalty. Pretty sure we took another one towards the end with 3 minutes and 40 something to go, and you're just sitting there like, okay, enough. Can we stay out of the penalty box? Because this is seriously reminiscent of the second period of games that Kings have lost badly because they just shut down. They start doing sloppy things and letting the other team start to take over. And that's exactly what happened. But it still ended the second period 1-0, and that gave them time to regroup. And we're all sitting there thinking, it's okay. The Kings can, they didn't do anything monumentally awful. Zakov kind of had this sprawling save at the end of the power play. He had a couple of them, but one of them in particular looked like he'd extended himself a little too much. And with a guy that's coming off a groin injury, it looked like he tried too hard to make that play work. And sure enough, the third period starts and Budaj is out in net. And we're all going, what? What is happening? Sure enough, Zakov did not return for the game. As of this vlog, he is undetermined in status, but I'm guessing it's not good. So we're back to an injury list of Gaborik, Andreoff, McNabb, Zatkov, Quick, and who would we like to add to that list? The very last person you'd want to add, Anze Kopitar? Oh, that's right. He ended up getting injured 4 minutes into the third period. He leaves to go back to the locker room and, commence panic. He comes back on the ice and we're like, oh, thank God, because, you know, we have had enough injuries this season. Enough with the injuries, enough with the penalties, just stop. But no, our relief was short-lived because he played maybe 2 shifts and then went back to the locker room, not to return for the rest of the third period. And sure enough, the Senators took one look at the bench and went, Kopitar's gone? Awesome. We're going to dominate. And not a single King on that team, except for Peter Budaj, decided to stop them. They completely steamrolled the Kings the entire period. I don't even know how the Kings got a shot off to get more shots on goal this period because it seemed like the puck did not leave the Kings zone. And Budaj was sharp. The credit where credit is due, Budaj did pretty much everything he could to keep this game a Kings win. Maybe 4 minutes left. The Kings have an extended shift. And then they go to make a change and can't do it, so they have an extended shift of the extended shift, and that goes for a while. And then when they do finally clear, the Senators get it straight back. First attempt doesn't go, second attempt goes, game tied. Now, with a little less than 4 minutes remaining, that's still a doable 1 point in overtime, and we know that when the Kings get to overtime and you just have the 6 players and the 2 goalies on the ice, it's unlikely the Kings are going to lose. But to hold on for dear life, the Kings couldn't even do that. 6.5 seconds remaining. 6.5 seconds. 6. And the puck goes over the goal line, and Budaj is like sprawling all over the floor, and it just was one of those games, I guess. Except it wasn't. It was one of those periods, and the Kings should have done better. Budaj deserved better than the third period, and honestly, the fans deserve better than what the Kings did in the third period. They let the Senators win the game. And it was unfortunate that it didn't happen in overtime because they were just so close. So close. It was not to be. The Kings have 3 more games on their road trip. They are yet to get any points out of it, and my faith in the season is slowly declining the more games we go along and are unable to score more than 1 goal. And the amount of injuries that continue to compound the Kings. I don't want to say luck this season, but it's definitely going to make it a long season. So strap yourselves in, Kings fans.